Women like us, I really do firmly believe that we are a sisterhood of women. And I really do believe that all of our stories may be different, but our passions are very much the same. And that's what I want to speak with you about today. And I also have to tell you that this is I've done a lot of writing over the years, but this is actually my first book. I'm very excited about it. My picture is on the cover. And when they asked me to put my picture on the cover, I thought, well, it's kind of a little egotistical, isn't it, to have my picture on the cover? I don't know how I feel about that. But I found a very, very good reason why my picture is on the cover of this book. We were traveling to Hawaii in January. Of course, we'd anticipated the plan. We were ready to go. We packed. We were on our way to the airport. How many of you have ever changed your purse before you go on vacation? Yeah. Well, guess where my driver's license was? In the closet, back at home in my purse. So I'm very, very upset, and I'm wondering how I'm going to even get on the plane. And Jim is going, don't you have any photo ID? Isn't there what about a Costco card, something? No, I have nothing. You're going to have to go ahead. I'm going to have to take another flight. I was so distressed. And then I remembered, there's my picture. There's my name. And I got all the way through security showing them my book. So if you do write a book, put your picture on it, carry it, it comes in handy. And the bonus with all of that was that I actually sold a few. So anyway, it is great to be here, and I want to talk with you today some things that are in my book, some things about my life, so really a list that I've come up with about strategies for living your best life. Strategy number 1, keep your apples up. Now, keep your apples up. Do you know what your apples are? Some of you may know. Well, if you can put your fork down for just a second and put your hands on both sides of your face, these are your apples. And when you bring your apples up, you smile. And if you're smiling, they say it's very difficult not to be happy. I am a cancer survivor, and I can tell you, I remember the morning. I remember the morning that my life was back. And it was after days and days and days and days and days in bed, sitting down, stopping, and I heard the birds outside my window. And I heard cars. I heard people going to work. Now, they may not have been happy, but they were in their cars and they were going to work. And I knew that I would be one of them again. Are any of you familiar with International Women's Day? Good for you. I'm in the business of women, and I didn't know about it. So I was so excited because, and the way that they treat and respect women in India could be another whole speech, but it's wonderful. So I was so excited that I thought I have to get there. They were having a big rally at the keynote Square in Delhi. They were having a big rally for International Women's Day. And Sonia Gandhi, who is the president of the Women's Party, was speaking. Well, my gosh, I'm all about women. I'm writing my book. I've got to get to this rally. So we found a taxi driver, and he took me there. And when I got to Keynote Square, we were going deeper and deeper and deeper into the city of Delhi. And I could definitely tell that it was not a tourist area, right? I was sure that I was going to get a little out of my element here. And when we got to the rally, it was a space probably about as big as a football field. And I was walking to the entrance to get in, telling my driver to please come right back here in an hour. And I realized that I was definitely, I did not see another American. I did not see another one. Now, there were thousands of people at this rally. So I got in, and it was actually the first time I was a little bit feeling like maybe I'd made a bad decision, because no one was speaking English at all. And as I'm kind of caught up with all of these people, I see a group of women. And so I think, well, I'm going to go, you know, women, I trust women. We know one another. We kind of get it. So I walked over to this group of women, and I said, excuse me, could you help me? Where would I go to hear Sonia Gandhi speak? And they looked at me with blank faces because they didn't understand what I was saying at all. And they all had on these hats, these like baseball caps for the Congressional Party. It said it had the symbol across the front. So they just looked at me and kind of raised their hands up like that. And I thought, uh-oh. So I turned to walk away, and I was maybe 2 minutes away, and I felt a tap on my shoulder. And these women had come back to get me. And they took one of their hats and put on my head. And in their way of communicating with me, they told me to come along with them. They put their arms around me, and they said that they would take care of me. And before I knew it, I was standing up with their whole families, and people were taking pictures of me and all of them. And I didn't even, again, we couldn't communicate. And then finally they shuffled me over to where they were sitting, and they sat me down, and there were more cameras. And the national news was there that day. And I had the national news camera people taking my picture with these Indian people, because I think I was kind of an anomaly, quite honestly. So, and then pretty soon they put a piece of paper in front of me, and they wanted my autograph. And then someone did come up that could speak some English. The communication was, one woman said, my son is a policeman. And another woman said, and my daughter is a carpet salesperson. And another woman said, my daughter went to the United States, is in graduate school. And we were able to communicate all of this. And it was so wonderful for me, because it was such a commonality for all of us as women. And so much about what I believe, that we really are a sisterhood of women, and we do have so many of the same things, even though our stories might be slightly different. And they invited me to come to their house for tea. It was my last day in India. I couldn't possibly have done that. And when it was time for me to go, they walked me all the way out to the exit, hugged me, made me promise that I would write to them, and I did, and told me goodbye. And between that trip to India and that experience with those women, it was truly a powerful day for me, and certainly a reminder that we are all women like us.